with School of Bhakti, and this time, wisdom that breeds. Hari Bol. And this is a Bhakti Life course. Bhakti Life course is a next course after the last year's course that we did called Gita Life. Gita Life was, as you remember, 10-session course all about Bhagavad Gita and how to make Bhagavad Gita practical in our life. Hence, living the Gita, Gita Life. Now, who remembers how many chapters there are in the Bhagavad Gita? 18 chapters. Wonderful. 18. Oui. And so, yeah, I'm joined by His Grace Nitai Charan Prabhu, who is the translation for English into French. Balda Prabhu, welcome also. Jun Prabhu, I've just met this year. And our technical help here, Deb Prabhu, thank you for so much. Very nice. Thank you. And we have devotees who are going to be joining this online via the YouTube channel. And they've said that they want to know when it goes online. And that way we'll be able to. They can also catch up on the course because they can't attend all the sessions like that, Sibylla especially.
So should I do the translation? Should I do stuff and then the translation?
Yeah, we can do it that way. No problems. Because today's session is going to be fairly short because it's just the introduction to the course itself. But before we start any course, we'll do quick Mangal Acharan. Mangal Acharan to bring about auspiciousness in the environment, though we are in the temple, already supported by Krishna Balaram and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the deities are just there. So we will just do a very quick Mangal Acharan. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurudmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. So we have a WhatsApp group for this Bhakti Life course. I hope all of you are on there. I think Nitai Raj Baladev Prabhu. And this course has been kindly given to us through School of Bhakti because New Mayapur Dham is also a School of Bhakti affiliate, which means it has access to all the School of Bhakti material as well as Wisdom That Breeds. Wisdom That Breeds is a new platform by His Holiness Swayam Bhagwan Keshava Swami. That means all his courses are also available, accessible to us. So it's very, very nice. We are very lucky. So Maharaj is very lucky. He's given us so much mercy and kindness. So we are thankful to that team. So before we begin, this is something I like to get to know you. We get to know each other because we're going to go through about 5 weeks of this course. And it's like we will get to know each other, how each other works, and how we can grow in our bhakti. Like I was saying, Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters, and the first 6 chapters are about what topic of Bhagavad Gita, mainly? What topic is it? Do we remember? First 6 chapters are the topic of Karma Yoga. Yes, and then last 6 chapters are the topic of Jnana Yoga. So karma and jnana. Does everybody know what karma means? Karma yoga and jnana yoga means?
Karma yoga is the yoga by the action.
Yes.
Jnana yoga is the yoga by the knowledge.
Knowledge, wonderful. So we have got the action, we've got the knowledge. So in between, it's like a sandwich. You have the top bread, you have the bottom bread, and then something in between. So a sandwich If you go to buy a sandwich in a sandwich shop, you know the sandwich by the filling. Cheese sandwich, plowman sandwich, pickle sandwich, whatever sandwich it is, you know it by the filling. So in the middle section is the Bhakti Yoga section. Right? So we talked about Bhakti Yoga, Kama Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and this course is going through that Bhakti Yoga section, but also looking at Nectar of Devotion as a book, like that. So I want to know a little bit about you, where you are coming from today. Yeah, how long have you been practicing Krishna consciousness within ISKCON? And what is your main reason for joining this course at this time in your life? Because this time in your life is important, right? So, I'm coming from upstairs in the men's ashram, but via East Africa and London and India and everywhere, and then just come to New Mayapur. Haribol. So yeah, that's why I'm here, and I like to sort of share Krishna consciousness through courses and different things, because I had my training at Bhaktivedanta Ashram under guidance of Swami Bhagavan Keshav Swami, and so I'm fortunate that I've been able to do that. So I've been practicing about 10, 11 years, not long, very young devotee, trying to be devotee. And the reason for joining this course today for me is so that I can have association with all of you wonderful people like that. So yeah, Baldev Prabhu.
When you say today, this morning?
Whichever today you want to talk about. But where are you coming from today?
I'm just coming from Loche because I go to make some shopping.
Okay, Loche. Lots of shopping in Loche.
I practice Krishna consciousness for many lifetimes, but for this lifetime, just a few years, 6, 7 years.
Amazing, amazing. Lifetimes plus 6.
Yeah. So, and my main reason for joining the course is because the course is going on.
Jai, wonderful. Thank you. Nisai Shram Prabhu.
Yes. So today I come from my home, my bike.
By bike, yes, yes, wonderful. In Akwe?
Yes.
Wonderful, yes.
Nice day. Yeah, I met devotees 2010, and I still try to join these movements.
Right.
So that's why it's nice to be here with you.
Wonderful.
Learn a little bit more, practice more.
Wonderful. And you are also bringing education to New Mayapur, actually. So
I try to follow you.
Education is nice to bring education to New Mayapur. I like it. Okay, June Prabhu.
I'm coming from the same place as you. I'm your neighbor.
In the ashram, yes.
And I practiced since 6 years ago.
Okay.
I made a temple here. So I keep practicing those years. And for attending this course, because I want to improve my bhakti in my heart.
Wow.
I hope one day I can share as well. I can preach.
Wonderful. Wonderful, thank you. And before here, where were you? You came from somewhere? Where did you come from?
I came from Taiwan.
From Taiwan.
So yeah, I stayed here in Mayapur for a few months.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you. And dear Dev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So myself Dev, born in Bangladesh. From Bangladesh, India, then in France. First came in contact of devotees in Czech Republic in 2014. Since then.
When was that? What year?
Sorry?
What year was in your connection in Czech Republic?
2014.
2014.
Wow.
So since then, whenever I went in any country, so I tried to find a ISKCON temple for a nice prasadam. It's very honest, because I'm catastrophic in cooking. So I wasn't in a good touch of devotion or activities,
right.
but I was passing by regularly, just like
Okay.
in Portugal, in Denmark, in Belgium, not in Germany, and finally in France. Now I am living here since a year.
Wow, amazing.
Thank you so
Haribo. Yes, I met there Prabhu last year, and you attended some of the courses on the Gita Life also. It was really, really nice. Thank you for sharing. It's so nice to get to know everyone. And so I know that you've attended some of the course. We've done Mangalachan already. Okay, so let's go straight into the course. So this is the overview of the course. Different things that we'll do. It's a very structured course in the sense that, although it says me and Krishna, it's a deliberate typo in the book Bhakti Life. This is accompaniment of a book called Bhakti Life, written by Keshava Swami. He says in his book, in the introduction section, it should be Krishna and me, like this. So we read Krishna and me, my home and me, like this. So these are different steps of our Bhakti Life course, and in each step there are 3 further steps. So for example, me and Krishna has 3 steps. Me and my home has 3 steps. Me and my lifestyle has 3 steps, and so on and so forth like that. So there are 18 steps in total. And in these 18 steps, we will cover aspects of Nectar of Devotion. How many of you have read the Nectar of Devotion, the book? Yeah. The Nectar of Devotion is an amazing book. It's been translated by Srila Prabhupada into English from the original book, Upadeshamitra, by Rupa Goswami, which is a big, thick book. Nectar of Devotion is a smaller book where the essence of the entire book has been given by Srila Prabhupada. And it's a great book for us to practice our Krishna consciousness in, because it gives us a lot of nectar like this. Okay. So before we start, I have a question for you all. So why do you think people practice religion or go to a temple or another holy place? Anyone can answer. Why do you think people practice? For what reason do they practice something? A faith like religion, or football is also religion, right? Going down the pub, drinking is also religion, right? But why do they practice and go to holy place? Yes, June, Prabhu?
Because the energy in the temple, holy place,
Wonderful. Okay. Right. So better energy. So when you say energy, it gives you makes you feel good because of that energy. Is that what it is?
some taste of it. Yes, I think it depends. But it started the process of purification.
Okay.
So sometimes maybe feeling up.
Okay. All right. So inside there's a feeling, and so then some people come there just to get that feeling and get a sense of association. Okay, wonderful. So get association, get the energy.
And also taste.
A different taste of the prasadam.
Everything, yeah. Because relationship exists in every part of the world, but in temple, taste is different.
Okay, wonderful. Anything else? Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mainly by tradition.
Tradition. Yes, so people go to churches because they've been brought up in an environment where every Sunday they go to a church or temple of worship. In India, people go to worship because, my dear Lord, give me something. Like this, isn't it? My son is going to university. Please make him successful so he can be a doctor. Like this. Or somebody is distressed. Their health is not well. My health is not well. Please help me get better. Or somebody wants money. So there are many, many reasons like that. And so then they go for all these reasons, really, which are on the screen. It could be something cultural. It could be something that it is a culture for the father to go and watch a football game on a Sunday, and they take the son along. That's a culture and a tradition. Because if we really think about it, what is religion in the sense? A bunch of people come together, they do some certain things, the same thing together. They will have some sing-song, some chanting, some food. That's what's happened in a football match also. They have a uniform. That happens in a football match. They're drinking, they're going, whoa, here we go, here we go, here we go. Same thing, no?
After relationship.
Relationship, exactly. Association and relationship. So it's a culture, it's a tradition, or somebody might have certain personal desires, like this. They might want money, they might want a good job, they might want a career, they might want good life, lifestyle, etc. That's also another reason. They may want to be involved in part of a sense of community. They want to be part of a growing community, a community that is going through upliftment, enlightenment. Like George Harrison from the Beatles, they went all the way to India. They had all the money in the world, very, very rich, private jet, everything. But they went to India to search for enlightenment. So maybe that's what they want. That's what they went for, the last one. So in Bhagavad Gita 7:16 it says, somebody can read?
O best among the Bharatas, 4 kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me. The distressed, the designer of wealth,
It's a difficult word.
of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute.
Yes. So these are the 4.
Traduction?
Yeah, but I don't know because
When to stop? Okay, so I will pause and you can translate.
I do a translation.
Sure, please.
Au meilleur parmi les barates, 4 sortes d'hommes pieux commencent à me rendre un service dévotionnel. Celui qui est affligé, celui qui désire la richesse, celui qui est curieux et celui qui recherche la connaissance de l'absolu.
Yeah? Okay. So like that, there are many, many reasons why people go for religion. As we discussed, culture and tradition is one of the biggest one. Yeah. Usually you find people who've been brought up to some way of practicing something. In certain countries, it is forbidden to practice religion, right? So their culture and tradition stops them from practicing, right? But that's the biggest reason, really. Someone might have personal desires. What are the types of personal desires people have for going to a place of worship or something like this? What kind of desires?
To be the winner.
To be the winner in life. Because life is up and down, isn't it? Yeah. Society, community, you want to belong to something. People generally want to belong to something. We are social beings. We have association. Without being social, it is difficult to actually live. Otherwise, on your own, you go mad, just with the mind. And then very, very few people go for this last circle, which is spiritual. They generally ask the question, there must be something more to life than just this. Just the community, just the culture, just the tradition, just my family, just my personal desires. And that kind of thing, similar thing happened to me. In that I was working completely fine in my corporate work for 18 years. And all this time, my uncle, who'd been in Krishna consciousness in ISKCON for 15 years by then, saying, oh, come to my house on a Saturday. We're having a gathering, a Sangha. And you know what Saturday is like if you're working Monday to Friday. Sometimes I used to work Saturday, Sunday because I was in IT. So systems go live during the weekend when everything is closed down. So I would say, yes, I'll come, uncle, I'll come. But Saturday means cleaning the house, shopping for food, cleaning the clothes, cooking for friends, going to see family, going to play some sports or whatever. Then Sunday comes, okay, maybe relax a bit, and then Monday is starting work again anyway. So it's like 1.5 days really. Then Sunday, like 2 or 3 o'clock onwards, it's like, oh, I gotta go work again Monday. Okay, let's think about this, let's think about that. You're already working on a Sunday before you get to work on Monday. So it's very difficult to actually find time to go to this Sangha. The other thing was, he was living in the north of London, I was living in the south of London. So it's an 1.5 hour drive, an 1.5 hour drive back. It's like 3 hours. It's like, it's a bit of a tricky one. But good thing was, he was perseverance. He was asking me every year, you want to come to our Sangha? You want to come to our Sangha? And then once in 2014, we had like a family gathering, and we were all there doing things. And he said, oh, you want to come? And I thought, he's every year he's been asking me. I should go. I should make it a point to go. So I went. And I got there, and we had some prasadam, some kirtan, and then discussion on the Bhagavad Gita. And then there was a gentleman from the temple with dressed like this. He was sitting at the front and he was talking about Dehi nosmin yatha dehe komaram yomanam jara tatha dehantaram praptis dhiras tatra namuyati. He says this, as the body goes from childhood to boyhood to youth to old age, similarly the soul passes through at the end death to the next body. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. And so I looked at that and I'm thinking, okay, so I'm going to take a next body. Though I knew this philosophy from before, coming into England, it wipes your brain. It's brainwashing. And you get into work, you go into different places, but you forget about the temporary nature of life. So I'm thinking, I wasn't married. Had no intentions of getting married. And so I was thinking, well, then why am I working so hard? Sometimes weekends, sometimes 12 hours, 15, 16 hours, 18 hours a day. And what for? So I must look into this. Interestingly, I had a Bhagavad Gita given to me in 1990, before I went to university, on a night out in the western of London. It was 3 weeks before going to university. We had, all of our friends were going out because we were all going to different universities. We thought we'll go on a last night out before we go our separate ways. There was some music going on, and there was some Harinam in central London. So, what is this? Let's go and have a look. So we went across there, and then somebody gave me the Bhagavad Gita. I was like, okay, this is a nice book. I recognized Krishna and Arjuna's picture because obviously we knew from the culture. But I didn't have anywhere to put it. I didn't have a big enough coat. I was taking this Gita. We went to a restaurant on a nice date. Gita and me on a nice date. Restaurant, we went to a club, we went to cinema, ice cream parlor, I remember. And at 2 o'clock, I was, okay, let's read the introduction part. I recognize the introduction, it's Mahabharata, like this. Then I got to chapter 1, first verse. Like, this is too heavy. And it's already 2:30, 3 o'clock. I'm going to sleep now. So I took the book, put it on my mom's altar. Mom had a little altar at home. And a little incense stick like this in the morning. And 3 weeks later, I went to university. And that was that. That was my introduction to the Gita. So fast forward into 2014. This was 1990, like lots of years later. Lots of things happened in that period. But I won't go into that because we're going to take into time. So I recognized the book. And I thought, I must read into this because this is coming back to me again after such a long time. And yes, that's when it actually all started. So the verse and Gita itself is very, very powerful, but it requires a trigger. And the person, my uncle, a devotee, was the trigger. So we all require the association and the spiritual thirst, spiritual need. Without that spiritual need, it doesn't spark. It doesn't grow. So we require somebody to push us. Otherwise, mind becomes complacent, especially when we're on our own. So always remain in association with devotees. That will help us. So then, with me, my nature is that if I'm going to do something, I have to do it 100%. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So I have to go straight in. So then, okay, I looked into this. I joined the local temple. I went to Bhaktivedanta Mana, joined there as well. Started doing services. within 2 months I was chanting 16 rounds, and within 3 months I was in Vrindavan. For 26 days I spent in Vrindavan, and that's when the whole thing transformed in my life completely. As they say, you lose your heart in Vrindavan, isn't it? And as you lose your heart in Vrindavan, Vrindavan is a very, very special place. If you haven't been, I really urge you to go, because it is very, very transformative. From every aspect of your life, it will be transformed like that. So spiritual reasons are far more powerful than any of the other reasons, because all the other reasons are taken care of when you are in that divine connection. Here we are very lucky at the temple. We're constantly getting divine connection, especially in the environment that we live in. We don't have to face city life. We don't have to face, all the modes of nature, but we are protected by our bhakti and devotion. So it's like, say, spiritual life. When you are aware of the spiritual life, but you don't take to it, as Prabhupada says in the Gita, in the purport, that it's like looking at this wonderful organic honey in a lovely bottle. And you say, yes, I'm going to have it. This is my spiritual life. I'm going to taste it by just licking the bottle. You can't taste the honey without opening it. It takes little effort to open the jar, and then taking this wonderful spoon and taking it out. It goes everywhere, sticky, and then you have to taste it. And when it's tasting it, it's like, this is the best. So this is why it is. You have to be able to go, be very, very nice and taste the honey. So a little bit of logistics now at this point. You'll be very, very pleased to know that there are no exams for this course, but there will be homework. You'll get homework, and this homework will be able to give you that depth of bhakti that is there. That's what it's there for. So let's think about something. What stops people from taking religion or spirituality to a deeper level? What is stopping people from taking religion or a spiritual practice or divine connection to a deeper level? Like I gave some example, my story just now, but you might have your own stories as to why you feel that whether you are or you're not in a deeper connection in your spiritual life. Because everyone is on a different journey in spiritual life, but everybody goes into depth and then back into the shallow, into depth and back into the shallow, like that. So what is the reason that it stops people from taking spirituality to a deeper level?
We want to keep the control.
Right. That's a very powerful statement. We want to keep the control. We want to keep the control. You want to expand on that?
I cannot have faith in Krishna to take care of my life. I think I'm a better person
to take care of your life. Yeah.
So of course it's not abundant.
Of course. Wow. Okay. Wow. Because obviously Krishna is the complete abundance, and we think in our little world, no, Krishna is too busy. I can take over my own life. Thank you very much. But yeah, right.
Yes, it's one of the problems. Of course, it can be thousands of problems, but I think the root cause
is the control, letting go of the control. That is the root cause. Because we're all after a security in this world. What is going to happen to us tomorrow? What is going to happen to us when we're old? Who's going to look after us? This is insurance. Will we have enough money? Was this? Always constantly worrying about the future. And also sometimes living in the past, I shouldn't have done this, having regrets. And Krishna says in the Gita, we should live in the present, enjoy the present, because the present is called a present because it's most enjoyable. When you give somebody the present, it's enjoyable. So let's wrap up our present and enjoy the present. And that way we won't have to worry about the control aspect. But we all do. We put in a lot of effort in planning to go to some place, some country, but we don't actually plan our life. is a problem. Any other reasons why people, what stops people from Maya? Okay, so you get entangled in the illusory energy of the Lord. Expand on that. It's okay.
I think like 2 seconds.
Sure.
Because Maya is illusion, and then people is just in like only the material we saw, so cannot go deeper to understand that the philosophy of spirituality. Makes sense?
Mm-hmm. So what you're trying to say is that people get so entangled in the material world that they have to, as Prabhu said, be in the control. Okay, I have to work to provide for my family, so I'm the worker. My wife, my children are the person I'm serving. Sometimes they both have to work to provide just for the few grains of food to put on the table. They're working. Prabhupada says, muda mentality of an ass, because they're constantly working. What does the donkey eat? Grass. Grass is everywhere, but the donkey thinks, I must carry this heavy load for my boss so that he can give me some grass. But there's grass here. No, I can't eat that because he hasn't given it to me. It's like this. And so, yes, we often think that we get illusioned by Maya's energy, because Maya thinks, yes, you need to work. You own something. You are important. Me, myself, and I. But if we, as it says in the Gita again, if we try to simply change that and say, okay, I'm going to serve Krishna instead, and then trying to dovetail my propensity by putting Krishna in the center, then it becomes that much easier for progressing in our life, because Maya then says, okay, he's serving the Supreme, so therefore let me help him or her. In that way, what tends to happen, we sort of normalize our life, and the ups and downs of life can, yes, I'm not saying devotees don't go through ups and downs of life, they do, but the normalization is very different like that. Okay. Obviously, there are different types of reasons. Obviously, there are some people who come for when they're distressed. It stops them from, either they're in too much pain, so that they can't take on to spirituality, or they don't have enough time because they're working so hard, or they're too happy, too much opulence. Then they say, no, my life is okay. No mercy. When you're trying to distribute book, no mercy. But this is mercy. I'm giving you mercy. Take it. But no mercy. But no mercy. Monsieur, bonjour. Bhagavad Gita for you. No mercy. So they don't want mercy because it's so much opulence. We go to tours, there are so many nice shops everywhere. They're constantly mesmerized. We go to Central London, Oxford Street. We were distributing books on the marathon. We were standing outside this shop, which had a big, huge television screen, like few television screens, and people were like this, almost like this, looking at the window. We're like, hey, look at this Gita instead. I was like going like this with them along with. It was so funny. It was having so much fun. But the point is that they're so mesmerized by the material energies. Times Square in America, same thing. People are in fact less dressed because in America they've legalized marijuana. It smells everywhere. And it's just like, oh, it's so strong everywhere. People are always high. It's crazy. So there's so many reasons why people just can't take to Krishna consciousness or any spiritual practice. Because the world is full of these attractions and distractions. The weapons of mass distraction, like this, So like this is the main reason. Here are some of the barriers that we talked about before. Old habits compromise, so sometimes people become too strict in their own way. I can't really practice properly because I'm set in my way. My tradition is that we are okay. We'll always be okay. My father worked as a carpenter. I work as a carpenter. My children will work as a carpenter. Then we'll be fine. So that can be there. Being too comfortable, we talked about. too much opulence, difficult to implement in our lives. Sometimes spirituality, our life is so busy already. How can, like I was on a Saturday, I couldn't go all the way. It took me so many years to even get there. 24 years, 25 years to get there. Lack of understanding or knowledge. Sometimes people think, no, this is very weird. They must be putting something in those cookies that they're giving us on the streets. Yes, do not take the cookie. As soon as you take the cookie, that's it, you're done. Yes, we put LSD in there. Love. Love, strength, and devotion. So, LSD. Sometimes when you meet devotees, they're going through difficult times, so they can be fault-finding you, so that people will be put off by that. So that's also another reason can happen. Discomfort of being judged. Sometimes people judge each other. Self-doubt. Can I really do this? Am I qualified to become a devotee of Krishna? I don't think I can do it. Self-doubt happens all the time. So practices and teaching seems obsolete for modern day. This is another biggest one. And this is what actually Keshav Swami is really fighting towards. He's actually bringing about and changing the way he presents Bhagavad Gita, the philosophy, Bhagavatam, etc., to the current generation. He's been attending at Harvard, the Divinity School of Divinity, doing different courses, meeting different faiths, understanding different ways of practicing Krishna consciousness, really, and also sharing his thoughts with the world. So on his blogs, he's been putting many things like that. It's really nice and refreshing to hear. So varieties of motivations are there for Bhakti. By the way, we haven't actually started the course yet. We're still going through the introduction part. Some people have fear that, if I don't do this, then what will happen to me? Some people have desires, as we said. I want to be successful, I want to have wealth, I want to grow, I want to have a lifestyle. Nothing wrong with that. But we'll talk about that a bit more. Some people do it out of duty. My ancestors have been doing this, so cultural reasons are there. It's my duty to just also go to the temple, offer something, and I'm done. And some people do it out of simple love. Because they want to serve, they would love to serve, so they love to serve the devotees like that. So many reasons like that, people come. Even George Harrison, once he actually understood the real purpose of spirituality and he met Prabhupada, this is what he wrote on the, which book? Krishna book, yes. Jian Prabhu, would you like to read?
All you need is love, Krishna. Haribol, George Harrison, 31 March of 70.
Yes. 1970 is what he wrote. Does anybody know the story of how he was asked to print the Krishna book? Anybody remember? Shyama-Sundar, yes. He was in London. And Prabhupada has asked Shyama-Sundar that, obviously devotees want the Krishna book because they don't know much about Krishna. Bhagavatam was there, but 10th canto of Bhagavatam has not been written. Imagine when they first joined, 1969, but even that time, because that's when they came to London, 1969, the three couples, 6 devotees, and the baby. And so when they came, what happened? They met George Harrison and the Beatles, Shyama-Sundar especially. And so Prabhupada said, you can ask George Harrison if he wants to sponsor the printing of the Krishna book. And so Shyama-Sundar goes, Prabhupada, George is helping us so much with the album, with the music. I don't really want to ask him for money. Prabhupada goes, try, he will agree. So anyway, so Shyama-Sundar invites them, for the devotees, to his house for some dinner with some guests. So they're all having dinner, and Shyama-Sundar is like sweating. He's like, I don't really want to ask him. But anyway, so when they're having their aperitif after dinner, Shyama-Sundar goes up to George Harrison and says, Srila Prabhupada said that, you'll be very much interested in sponsoring the printing of the Krishna book. Okay, so George Harrison looked at him. Okay, how much is it going to cost? 10,000 pounds. I can't remember the figure exactly. 10,000 pounds, he was saying. He was almost like, he was smiling and going, At that moment, there was a big lightning, and all the lights went out. Like, oh, okay. And after a few minutes, the lights came on. Well, I'm not going to get a sign more than that, he says in his Liverpoolian accent. Okay, I will give you the money. So that's what divine intervention is. When a pure devotee like Prabhupada says something, Krishna has to do something, right? So that's how the Krishna book was printed, and he wrote the introduction to the foreword to the Krishna book, and this was his signature at the end. In 1970, 69 to 7, just within a few months, they printed the Krishna book. So you see, when you are actually in love with Krishna, he reciprocates with everything in your life. It just requires that small amount of saying, Krishna, yes, I acknowledge that you are the absolute, and I surrender my life to you, because Prabhupada says, just give this one life, you won't regret it. And all of us are way beyond our 20th year. That means 25th year. That means quarter of a life is already gone. And realistically, are we really going to live up till 100? I don't know about me. I don't think so. In my family, people don't generally live that long. So that quarter of those goes practically, we haven't even got a full life. Half a life at best, right? It's a good deal. I think it's a good deal. It's a great deal. Look at all the devotees. They're like having fun.
And we already spent our youth to do nonsense.
We've done the burnt out with the nonsense, right? Okay, so let's look at Bhakti. This course is called Bhakti Life, right? Bhakti Life. So, Bhakti, Prabhupada describes Bhakti as love, devotion, and service. In other words, loving, devotional service. LDS, not LSD. He took the LSD, turned into LDS for everyone. Loving, devotional service. And there's another LSD that you actually do need, they say, according to Ayurveda, and that is left side down. Left side down. After a meal, if you have 10-15 minutes of left side down, the best, because your digestion is the perfect. Don't do right side down, because that's upside down stomach. Yes, Prabhu.
I heard before also the heart is at the left side, so it's better to right side.
To right side or left side?
Sometimes I see the left side.
After eating, it's good to sleep on the left, because your stomach is curved like this, and that's on the left, and the digestive fluids are on that bottom of that, so then it's digested. Otherwise, what happens is upside down like this. But what they also say is good to go for a quick walk. 10 minutes, it reduces the sugar spike that we get from eating, so then that curbs it down. So 10 minutes walk after eating is perfect for reducing the sugar spike. So good to know. So we have, according to 9 stages of Bhakti in Nectar of Devotion. Does anybody remember 9 stages of Bhakti from Gita Life course, etc.? Okay, so those are the 3 steps of devotee types, like Madhya, Kanishta, Madhyam, and Uttama. These are 9 steps of Bhakti itself. So Bhakti allows us, there's a step-by-step process on how to develop and enhance our Bhakti, right? So the first one is to actually have faith. I will be sending out the PowerPoint on the WhatsApp group, so you'll get the whole PowerPoint deck in PDF. No problems. 9 stages of Bhakti. The first one is faith, which is in Sanskrit called Shraddha. Shraddha. What did you say? Say on the screen, right? Shraddha. Yes, Shraddha. Shraddha, faith. So, Hare Krishna. So faith, I mean, what do we think about faith?
What do you
Faith, yeah. Do you think faith is important in life? Yeah?
Faith is something you cannot build, something that is given.
Okay, okay. So faith is something that, how does it develop within you though?
So means it's like a present that you go to some people who are probably agree to grab it.
Okay, okay, all right. So faith, you say, it comes down. Okay, so let me give a simple example. You have a headache, and the doctor says, okay, take a paracetamol. And you say, it's paracetamol. I don't really have faith in paracetamol. Will the paracetamol work for your headache? Yes or no? Depend on your trust in the process, because the mind is very, very complex. Sometimes it can negate something, sometimes it can agree to something. So faith is actually a mind state. When we start developing something, some practice, we got to have some trust. And trust only develops, especially amongst humans, by us seeing the experiment and the result. We do the experiment, you look at the result, and you get some certain feeling. That's all about spiritual life is like that. You do the practice, you see what it feels like, and then you say, oh yeah, this works. It makes me where I want to be. That increases your faith. Others, actually, there is a divine intervention, like you said about that, Prabhu, in that sometimes it increases within because there's a feeling inside that grows when you're ready. Krishna gives us some things when we're ready, like that. So faith is very, very important to begin with in our Krishna consciousness. And we can only increase faith by looking at other devotees, by experiencing what the process is like and how it's working for us, isn't it? Like that. The next step is, as we said, association. What is that in Sanskrit? Yes, sadhu sangha. Not any type of sangha, but sadhu sangha is very important. We can go down the pub and drink with the friends, and that's association. A different type of drink, a different type of sadhu sangha. It's more like sadhu sangha, that one. Then once you have faith and association, then they teach us how to actually practice. Now, okay, we put our hand in the bead bag like this. We chant the mantra Hare Krishna. We don't chant on the first bead. We don't use this finger. We have to chant attentively. We have to, do this without 10 offenses. Rules and rules and rules and rules. Practice is big thing here. And so that is called bhajana kriya. The third step in the 9-step devotional bhakti. 9 stages of bhakti, bhajana kriya, practice. What's the next stage? Anyone remember? Purification. Bhava is later. It comes later. Much later. So as we now go through the stage of chanting is, do you think, what is chanting for you? I mean, everyone has a different experience of chanting, right? When you go through this chanting, this meditation, what is it for you? Do you find it austere? Like austere in that sometimes it's hard work. Oh, no, I've got to do my rounds. I've committed to doing X number of rounds. I have to do them. It's like, is it sometimes pressurizing? Yes, huh? It's pressurizing. Especially if you're working like full time. I remember in the beginning, okay, how am I going to do these 4 rounds? Where am I going to find the time? So then I started tricking my mind. I'm going to trick my mind. I'm going to set my alarm 10 minutes early. I used to have 3 alarms when I used to work. 15 minutes early, 5 minutes early, and then on the time. So then I have 15 minutes. I know, 15 minutes. But then I used to trick my mind. So set one of the alarms earlier, 10 minutes. So then at least I'm chanting 1 or 2 rounds as I'm woken up like this. And then it became 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour. Like this. I used to wake up earlier and earlier. So for half an hour I used to wake up. I used to be able to do my 4 rounds. And then they said, oh yeah, now you've done 4 rounds, you can do 6. What do you mean 6? It's like this. And then I thought, okay. But then what started happening, actually this purification kicked in. This anartha nivritti stage is actually an amazing stage. Because we are used to life, material life. But when you do this austerity of chanting, all of these mind things, like I used to get agitated at work. My team wouldn't deliver something, I'd be like, come on guys, what's happening? I'd be getting angry with them and things like that. After chanting those 4 rounds, after the 6th round, I started chanting 6 rounds, within about 6 weeks, or maybe one month maybe, I was more nice. I was a nice kind of guy at work. I wasn't like horrible anymore. And emails were like easier to respond to. It wasn't just quickly do it. It was more like gentle. So I noticed myself, I was starting to check on myself, thinking, what's going on here? There's some things are changing. And so this anartha-nivritti stage actually helps us to understand the material world itself that we're living in. We start understanding, okay, we are being controlled by some power here. It's not, before you're just going through life as if, we are in control, but actually we are being controlled. We're always being influenced. And so that way it allows you to understand, this practice allows you to understand, okay, how can I influence the influencer so that I can be in that mode of goodness rather than always ignorance or passion. When you're working really, really hard, sometimes it's just passionate work. We don't actually apply our consciousness into it because it becomes automatic, right? The next stage is conviction. After a while, you started getting this nishta. Oh yeah, this process is working. That's why I was able to go from 4 to 6 to 16 eventually, 2-3 months time. Then I got the conviction, yeah, this thing works. There's some taste. Then comes ruchi. Ruchi is a natural attraction. Now, each of these steps, I'll tell you one thing. Each of these steps is not just like, okay, once you reach the step, then this next step. It's not like a ladder. Each of these steps is like learning in Krishna consciousness. I'm going to sit down for a little while. I'm just going to show something. Each of these, normally in learning, in school education, our education is more like this. You do something, you do a test, you do something, you do a test, you do something, you do a test, and you achieve. Linear, called linear learning, just like this. But Krishna consciousness learning is more cyclical, like this. And it goes into a taste, a really, really concentrated taste. So you're learning something, and you're learning again, and you're learning again, you're learning again, and you're actually getting the taste. So you're getting Bhagavad Gita, the essence, but then when you read it again, you'll find something completely different in there. And you read it again, you find something completely different in there. So this is why all of these stages is not a linear thing. These stages are not just like that. It's more like cyclical, like this.
Yeah, they are interconnected all the time.
Yes, they're continuously interconnected. And as you develop more faith, you develop more association, you improve on your association, you improve on your practice, you improve on your purification. All of these things improves until you reach this stage of attachment. Once you get to attachment, that's it, you're attached. Then you're attached to, if I don't do my rounds, I feel rotten. Hey, something is missing in my life. And this attachment is very, very good for us. Ashakti. That's when then comes bhava. Then you're in bhava. Jai, finally you reach bhava, and then you ecstatic love, yes! And you get all this ecstatic loving symptoms, tears, trembling, all sorts of things. My skin's burning, I'm feeling separation, but there's a stage before, above that also. Prema, yes. Prema. What is the Sanskrit for prema? Or pure love is prema, yes. Pure love. Pure love is a stage which we all aspire for. Because ultimately, that unconditional love that Prabhupada had for Krishna, Radharani, Balaram, Vrindavan, that we know he's a personality. He was amongst us just short 50, 60 years ago. He's still with us, actually. If we really see, he's still there. If you go to Prabhupada Darshan room, you feel his energy. And so he's still with us. And so we know that personality exists, pure devotees exist. Even amongst us now, there's so many pure devotees. Unfortunately, we don't find the time to serve them properly. When we serve them, you get the mercy, like Narada Muni did, like that. So these are the stages. Journey of spiritual life. You may have come across Sambandha, Abhidaya, Prayojana before. Sambandha is like your first step in any activity that you're doing in life. Is you need to build a relationship with that activity. Once you've built up a relationship, you develop some faith. Then comes Abhidaya, which is the process, and Prayojana is the goal. So some action, some process, why we're doing it, the purpose is the Prayojana. But we'll focus on the Abhidaya because this course is all about the practical application, the process. So we practice the course, Bhakti life, through some activities. What activities to do in life? What type of lifestyle do we need to develop? Because everything has a lifestyle. If you want to become a sportsman, you have to have a lifestyle. You'll be juggling many plates. You have to practice many things. Yes, just like that. Either leg, both legs work. It depends on your constitution, whether you're right-legged or left-legged, right hand or left hand. But you'll have to use everything that you have in your lifestyle. New lifestyle for you. And then that develops our character. Because when we develop the lifestyle with the right attitude and a right service-oriented attitude, servitude, then we have a very nice character. The simple the personality is, the simpler the process. The more complicated the personality is, the complicated the process. That's why we need lots and lots of association that we can reveal our mind to with devotees like that. So finally, we just go to these two slides and then we'll take some questions and give you a bit of a break. Somebody like to read the Sanskrit? June Prabhu is very good with Sanskrit. Please. Wonderful. You see? I mean, last life or something is just carrying on. We've been reading Bhagavatam in the library, and we are in the 5th canto, 1st chapter. And it's prose in some of the verses, and it's like really long. And Prabhu just like, it's like nice. Anybody else want to have a go? Reading this Sanskrit?
Again?
Why not?
Akyamam apijanati yavanyashasmi tadvataha tatumam tadvato jnadvara vishate tadanantaram.
Yes, this is a very famous chapter 18 of Bhagavad Gita, 55th verse. And what it means, Prabhu, would you like to read?
One can understand me as I am, as the Siddhi personality of Godhead, only by the devotional service. Okay. And when one is in full consciousness of me by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God.
Wonderful. So that's ultimately what we're trying to do. It's simply by this process to understand who is Krishna, what he looks like, what he does, what are his friends, what's his name, what's his address, what is his phone number, what is his girlfriend's name, what's his brother's name, what are his mom and dad's name, what is our relationship with Krishna, basically. And when we understand that, done. That's all we have to do. So that's basically what this course will take us through. The 9 stages of bhakti. It will then give us the ability to understand how to implement bhakti life, the 18 steps of bhakti life in our life itself. So before we go into that, I'm going to give you like a 10-minute break, and then we will continue the rest of the bhakti life course. Hare Krishna. You want to pause the recording, Prabhu? Jai. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome back. Hope you had a good break. So yes, we had a nice discussion on the hand of Sanjaya. Sanjaya has got many, many hands, and this is one of his hands. So, Bhakti Life is an 18-step, simple steps to Krishna. It allows us, I'm going to look at my notes now because I don't want to miss anything. Course follows this book. This book has been given on the WhatsApp group. It's an e-book because we're out of print, like physical book is not there. It's a very short book. It's based on the Nectar of Devotion, written by His Holiness Swayam Bhagavan Keshava Swami. Amazing personality. If you haven't met him, I do encourage you to meet him at some point or even follow him online. Nectar of Devotion, Prabhupada has written that from Upadeshamrita by Rupa Goswami, and it is a science of Bhakti Yoga, like that. Prabhupada is very, very merciful to us, so we are very, very happy that he's written this wonderful book like this. So then, the overview of the course, we're going to be looking at these 6 categories, 18 steps. Each category has 3 steps. We're going to look at the direct connection with Krishna, and we're going to be looking at 3 things by which we can develop our direct connection with him in each of these aspects. That's the first one, me and Krishna. And then look at our environment, our home, our family, how to center our lives around Krishna consciousness. Also look at our lifestyle. What type of lifestyle do we have within developing that relationship with Krishna? Then look at our individual world as we currently are. So we are different individuals and our world is very different. Though we live in the one world, our world is very different. Right? So we will look at that. Then comes me and my friends. Your friends, your family, they have an impact also by you choosing certain lifestyle, right? And then me and my journey. What does your journey look like after you've come into this path and chosen this lifestyle like that? So this is just like a quick overview of what we'll be doing. Let's look at each of these steps individually. Me and Krishna. Conversation with God. How do we start a conversation with God? Once you've accepted, okay, I'm in Krishna consciousness, so okay, so what shall I do? How can I talk to him? We'll talk about that. Uncommon sense. Interesting, eh? Don't get it. Eh? Normally we're after common sense things, but sometimes we have to uncommon ourselves in order to make sense of life. We think life has been drawn out to us and given to us by our teachers at school, our parents from their school and their teachings, and so on, to make sense of life. But actually, when we try to understand life properly, especially from a different lens, then that common sense, we have to remove ourselves from that first. That becomes uncommon sense, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. Get out of our comfort zone, break the moldings of our material life, because without breaking it, you are confined, right? When we are confined, we can't function in a different way. We're just functioning in one way. No, I just do like this. I'm a robot, AI robot. China is creating thousands of them. Yes. Everybody know that story of the music teacher? There's a similar story of an art teacher, music teacher. So, okay, let's share this story. Thank you for raising. You want to share? No. Okay, all right. So yes, 2 students are going to a piano teacher. And the first student has got some learnings of piano from before. He knows how to play the piano, but he wants to improve and go from beginner stage to intermediate and advanced. Another student is completely new. So the somewhat experienced student goes to the teacher and says, I want to learn piano. Okay, so what do you know? I know this, this, and this. Okay, I'll charge you $200 for the 10 sessions that I'm going to teach you. Okay, $200, fine. And he was sitting down just waiting. Another student comes, yes, I want to also learn piano. And he goes, okay, what do you know? I know nothing. Okay, I'll charge you $20. So the other student goes, hang on a minute, did I not hear right? Was it 200 or 20? Excuse me, teacher, I'm paying 200. Yes. But he's paying 20. Yes. Oh, I don't get it. Well, you see, in your learning, you would have made so many errors. So first you have to unlearn all those things. So I have to work a little bit extra with you. With this guy, I teach him, he will learn, finished. Easy. And so oftentimes we have to unbreak our other things from our life in order to learn something new, especially a new lifestyle. And so therefore, we require active devotion. And that's why it's an activity. That's the third step. Right? Thank you for reminding of that story. And similarly with an artist, when he wants to paint, it's great to have a blank canvas to paint on. But if the canvas is, somewhat already painted, he has to first brush it off, make it a blank canvas, and then start painting. And then there'll be some gray marks still on it. It's not the same. So it's good to have a blank canvas in life. So Krishna consciousness allows us to do that. Create a blank canvas of our natural, just normal way of just going through life. Okay, so that's me and Krishna. Then we come to me and my home, or me and my environment. Karma-free food. I'm sure you know about that. So you're lucky, very lucky, we are getting karma-free food here. Except for those who are like going to a little local shop and saying, I like my sweets. sweets. Or fruits. Or little drink, fizzy drink. I like fizzy drink, whatever. So, but then, Jai Shri Vishnu. It's like, sacred space, something stronger. Something other than that. Sacred space. We have to create ourselves a very, very sacred space, especially when we are doing devotional service. We can talk about that. And family affairs. Family affairs. So we'll talk about that as well. Right. And then next one is me and my lifestyle. What type of lifestyle do you want to create yourself? Krishna consciousness now is abundance around the world. Before, when Prabhupada started, Krishna consciousness was a seed, teeny seed. And what did Prabhupada do? He took very, very nice fertile soil. And he took this teeny seed, called it International Society of Krishna Consciousness, planted it, and started watering. Soil, some plant food, some prashadam, some LSD, some of this, some of that, and put. Now it's becoming a strong tree, just like this. This tree here, leaves are falling, but we are fortunate that this tree is going very, very strong. From just 108 centers, temples around the world, when Prabhupada left 1977, to over 1,200 now. So we are very lucky that we can practice our lifestyle in any of those centers around the world. Wherever you go, first look up, is there an ISKCON center near us? Then go there. Otherwise, it's pointless, honestly. So in my lifestyle, we look at principles of freedom, because Krishna consciousness really gives you the freedom of actually function properly. We'll look at spiritual culture. What does our culture look like? We will also have the journey home, decision about, what does my path home look like? Like we want to travel somewhere, like I was saying earlier, we'll book a train ticket, we'll book our accommodation. What am I going to pack for prashadam on the journey? This is journey home back to Godhead. So we have to plan. Okay. Then the next one is me and the world. How do I function now with the world with this new lifestyle? Am I going to wake up in the morning and put my bed sheet on because I can't find my trousers? Then people say, why is he wearing a bed sheet? Why is he a girl? What's going on? It's like this. So we have to function with the world. So we'll look at that. Work as worship, time management, very, very important. And ambassador of goodwill. We are going to be ambassadors. Prabhupada took the hippies and made them happies. Yes, Prabhupada made them happies. They made them ambassadors of goodwill. And then we look at me and my friends, because oftentimes your friends know you the best, especially from life before, and they'll want to ask questions. You have Facebook friends, and you have real friends, right? For Facebook friends, we put certain face on Facebook. Mostly it's like picture of the dinner. I'm at the plate of food I'm taking. Tick. This is what I'm eating. Haha. Like. You know, it's like this is what happens. And now you don't even have Facebook now. It's like Instagram and so many X, and I don't even know what they are now. So many things. So spiritual sanctuary, soulmates. It's not just friends, soulmates, very, very important. And saintly connections. Again, this third one can really help with our spiritual life. When you have saintly connections in your life, can propel our spiritual life. We are fortunate here, like personalities like Hari Parshad Prabhu and his family have come, and he's sharing so much nectar. This morning's class was, although I was on altar, I was listening to some certain things. It was brilliant. Very nice class. So luckily, again, it starts at 5 o'clock. So we will be connecting there also with a saintly personality. And then finally, we'll have me and my journey. So what does your journey now look like in this lifestyle versus that lifestyle? That lifestyle, where was your train going? And with this lifestyle, where is your train going? Yeah. So me and my journey, we look at faith and doubt. This often happens. Stepping forward, how do we actually make the steps towards Krishna consciousness? And then what is our measure of success? In anything that we do, any endeavor that we do, we have to have some success criteria, right? What are our key performance indicators? Am I making progress in my life? Is this chanting really helping me? So these things are important. So we'll talk about all of these things, and that is called the Bhakti Life Course. Okay. So now we have, so before we do the homework, let's have a look at the questions. Any questions that you have in this thing that we talked about so far? We haven't started the course yet, by the way. We'll be starting this on Thursday, me and Krishna, on our sessions on Thursday at 3 p.m. here, same place, same time. And so if you have any questions until now, how do you think the... Oh, yes, Thursday is Ram Navami. Yes. But the festival will be finished by after Prashadam, right? Yeah. By 3 o'clock it's finished, no?
Usually we do the festival in the morning.
Yeah.
Not because there is drama.
Okay. So I mean, let's check. If we need to start at say 3:30 or 3:45, we can delay the start. There's only a few of us. Yeah. Yes, you can. 1 point. Thank you. But that's a good point. It's a very valid point. Festivals come and go. Yeah, but we might have to then adjust and like that. Yeah, no problems. Any other questions? What do you think of the course?
Hurry to see the course.
The next live, yes, next things. Yes. Okay, in that case, here's your homework. This is what you'll need to do before the next session. It could be Thursday, it could be later, like that. So, note down areas of your life where you feel most and least connected to Krishna. So, do we understand the question? Yeah, note down on your phone, on however you want to note it down, areas of your life where you actually want to make improvement in that connection with Krishna, and you feel most connected. Sometimes some people is like Mangalarti time. Yes, I feel most connected because I'm there. Krishna's woken up, he's had his wonderful sweets in the morning, he's there, really happy, high on sugar, and then he's giving his blessings, and I feel most connected to Mangalarti time. I genuinely do. And when you feel less connected, maybe when you're tired, or when you had some conflict with a devotee, or whatever it might be, think about different things, and we can work on those aspects of our life. That's our homework. Right. That's it for today. Thank you very much. It says, take a leap in spiritual life, School of Bhakti, and Wisdom That Breeds. If you're not on the Wisdom That Breeds platform, I strongly suggest you get onto that platform. I can send the link on the WhatsApp group. Like that. Thank you very much.